This was a handbill that was circulated on November 21st, 1963, one day before the assassination. And everything it says here, which is all true, to be honest. This man is wanted for treasonous activities against the United States, one, betraying the Constitution, which he swore to uphold. He is turning the sovereignty of the U.S. over to the communist-controlled United Nations, true. He is betraying our friends, yep. Cuba, Portugal, and he befriends our enemies, yep, Russia. He was making back channels with our enemies. He has been wrong on innumerable issues affecting the security of the United States. He's responsible for the Cuban Missile Crisis. Again, the CIA, during the Cold War, they were on the up and up. The reason he went after them is because he was serving the modern day Nazis. Because of his father, Joe Kennedy Sr., Joe Kennedy Sr. was an ambassador to the UK. The thing is, the Kennedys had a vacation home in France. They were tight with France. They were tight with the British aristocrats. Although even the Britain government wanted Joe Kennedy out as ambassador because he was so strong about not wanting to just have appeasement with Hitler. Again, Joe Kennedy Sr. did not want us to go to war, get into any war. Sort of like what the current day Nazis are saying, that nope, no involvement anywhere. If we had not gotten involved, they would have annihilated all the Jews. But Kennedys hated the Jews, okay? So then when you see the modern day Nazis go put him on some pedestal because, oh, he was going after Israel, of course he was. He hated the Jews like his dad did. But there's more. This is Joe Kennedy Jr. He was the one that was supposed to go on to be the president. He died during World War II in a tragic accident during a secret military mission. He was piloting a radio-controlled bomber, part of a top-secret operation called Operation Aphrodite, designed to destroy German V-2 rocket sites. His plane exploded prematurely over England, killing him and his co-pilot. Kennedy's death was the result of a mishap involving a specially modified aircraft intended for a risky classified attack on German military targets. The explosion cause was not definitively concluded, right? But was suspected to involve technical failure or jamming and possible wiring issues. His final radio message during his secret World War II mission was the code phrase "Spade Flush," which indicated that control of the bomber he was piloting was being handed off to the mothership, the controlling planes. This message was sent approximately 18 minutes into the mission, just before the plane exploded prematurely. The explosion killed both Kennedy and his co-pilot before they could parachute to safety. And his last words over the radio were "Spade Flush," signaling the transition of control required for the planned mission to destroy German V-2 rocket sites using a radio-controlled bomber as early drone-like weapons. So they were supposed to parachute, and then they would it would be the mothership, the mother plane would take over and get it to its destination. But it just so happened to explode early. Right, and where it was, its intended target was a fortified site of Hitler's. The target of Joe Kennedy Jr.'s final mission, Operation Aphrodite, was German V-1 and V-2 rocket launch sites in occupied Europe. These sites were heavily fortified bunkers and launch pads critical to the Nazi quote, vengeance weapons, end quote, program, which aimed to deploy long-range missiles against allied cities. Well, we were the allies, one of the allies. Talk about the enemy within. I mean, because it should be obvious now. Does anybody want to say it? No, but come on. Joe Kennedy didn't want us to go into the war. It got so bad with him, so bad that the UK did not want him as ambassador anymore. Roosevelt had to pull him from being ambassador. It's what destroyed him being able to run. And the family came here only for political reasons, yet their relationship with France was like this. And all the diplomats of France, Joe Kennedy knew. Well, those diplomats, they knew Hitler. And then look at JFK in his diary that was sold many years ago, how he said that Hitler was what legends were made of. This was your enemy within, and it is still going on today. Because then, you had this, they were all like, this was your American bunt party. That was your America First party. They were Nazis. So this is from the JFK files, and some idiot some moron that goes by the name, Red Pill on X. This wasn't recent, but in the past year, I believe, posted this and said the Jews killed Kennedy. I don't know. All I do know is the biggest question everybody should have been asking, especially after, the current assassination, was why didn't God intervene? There's a reason God didn't intervene with the Kennedys. There's a reason he didn't intervene with Kirk. But then everybody goes on to platform these people up into a hero status, and I'm sick of it. Because these people were not, first of all, to say they're America First isn't saying a good thing. The America First that Donald Trump mentions is tied to make America great again. It's not about the Nazi agenda. But some current day Nazis, you see who they are. They hate Israel. They hate Jews. They wrap it up that it's just about, it's giving money to Israel. It's giving, no, they hate, they're the same. This is the same breed over and over again. So then when they come along and say, well, the Jews killed Kennedy, they certainly weren't on our side, the Kennedys. So in this highlighted part, it says, we now have plenty of money. Our new backers are Jews. As soon as we or they take care of Kennedy. This was 12/3/63. Some quote from yeah, so I don't know. I didn't read the rest of it because I don't think you're ever truly going to know who. But I hate to say this because, of course, I don't justify murder. But the Kennedys weren't on America's side of anything. They weren't. So there's a reason God didn't intervene. So was it the Jews? I don't know. All I do know is the Nazis definitely hate the Jews. They wanted them all annihilated, and that party never went away. It came here, and it disgraces us to this day. That current party, you could call Turning Point. I'm not saying Trump is, I don't trust him, okay? I don't. I think he's just like another Kennedy, okay? Nothing Kennedy did when he was in office. And then if you look at, well, then RFK, why were they getting taken out? Again, why wasn't God intervening? Is it right? No, I don't justify murder. But maybe somebody was trying to look out for America's interests. I'm just saying, because they weren't on the side of us. Neither is Turning Point. Neither are any of these people that continue to go after Israel and the Jews. It's just the continuing party. So for Turning Point to still be held up when Charlie Kirk was no different than the Kennedys. No, he wasn't. And at the root of all of it is the Catholic problem. Catholic. Charlie Kirk. I'm sure he was a closeted Catholic. And France was mostly Catholic, where all the Kennedys loved.